How's everyone doing? I got a package in the mail and it is from the Dollar Tree. Well, kind of. It is from MI Dollar Tree. And I found them on Instagram initially, and they are a couple, Larry and Melissa, and they go and check their local Dollar Trees and will post if anybody's interested in anything, and they'll pick them up, for trades, or you can just buy them straight up from them. And they've been doing this for a little bit, and they're really nice and really awesome. And it's really cool that they do this and help people out like this, because a lot of Dollar Trees don't get the same stuff. My local Dollar Tree had one Blu-ray, and it was like one of the space ones, and like the IMAX space one. So I don't know, just my locations are terrible for any movies like that at the Dollar Tree. So I definitely appreciate it, and definitely check out their YouTube channel as well as their Instagram. I'll put a link down for their YouTube channel, and their YouTube channel will link to their Instagram. And as always, let me know if you've seen these movies and what you think of them, and what your favorite pickup from this haul is, and what your best pickup from your Dollar Tree has been. Leave me those comments down below. But there you go, the Dollar Tree box. Let me know if your Dollar Tree has anything, any Blu-rays and stuff like that, if you picked up anything good from the Dollar Tree. But I know there is a note in here. Let me take out the note first. That's the most important part. Here we go. There's the note right there. Hi Jay, here are the DVDs you asked for. Enjoy the movies. We hope to continue to trade with you. Happy hunting. Be safe out there. We like your videos. Thank you. I like your videos as well. We are enjoying the hunt. Take care, Larry, Melissa, MI Dollar Tree DVD. There we go. MI Dollar Tree DVD. Thank you. Big ups to them. They hooked me up with some movies that I was interested at the Dollar Tree, and my one didn't have them. I've heard stories, rumors that the Dollar Tree has 4K titles. The only one I remember seeing was Bad Santa 2, but that was a couple years ago now, but people are posting all kinds of ones. I'm not sure if that was, placed there or not, but let me know if you ever found any 4Ks at your Dollar Tree. Let me know the best thing you ever saw at your Dollar Tree was. But first up, I will show the Blu-rays. Let me separate, because there are some DVDs in here. Sometimes there's DVD-only releases, or sometimes there's ones that, for $1, I'll take a chance. It's a low-risk, high-reward probability. And if I like it, maybe later I'll pick it up on Blu-ray. So that's the case for... I think only one of these has a Blu-ray release, and I got the DVD for it because that's what they had at the Dollar Tree. But first up, really excited for this one, A Dark Song. I've had this on my Amazon wish list for a little bit, and I'm very happy to add it to my collection. It's a Walmart Select right there. I know they get like Walmart ones, Target ones, and a lot of Canadian releases at the Dollar Trees now. But I really enjoyed this horror movie when I saw it a few years back. It was really unique. The ending really threw me for a loop, how that plays out. I don't want to give too much away, but it almost feels like it could be in like the Marvel MCU universe and realm right there. But basically she's trying to contact the boy she lost, and she believes prayers are the answer. She crosses path with another character who's like an occult expert, and they basically try all these different dark rituals to order to bring her son back and to the world of the living, and all these weird things are happening. And I remember just the way it's all about the climax, the ending. I just remember being really surprised by it. I thought it had great atmosphere as well. I'm looking forward to revisiting this one. Like I said, very unique film. I saw it a few years back, and I just remember the ending blowing me away. So definitely happy to add that one to the collection. Next up is the one I wanted to see, and that is Last Flag Flying. And this is from Richard Linklater. And let me know what your favorite Richard Linklater film is. I feel like Dazed and Confused, of course. Slacker is one that I think if you're going to be like an indie filmmaker or you want to make films, Slacker should be like one of those films that you should watch. And, Kevin Smith's Clerks as well, which I think Clerks was influenced a bit by Slacker. But I like the cast here: Steve Carell, Bryan Cranston, Lawrence Fishburne, and they're veteran Marines. And I guess they take a bit of a road trip. I think maybe one of their fellow Marines passed away. Really short synopsis on here. Basically doesn't really give you too much on here, but this is the Canadian release, which has the slipcover. I'm not sure if the US one had a slipcover or not, but I know like a lot of times the Canadian releases will have a slipcover while the US releases don't. So I'm definitely excited for that. And this is an Amazon Studios film too. I wasn't aware of that, so very cool. So I'm expecting this to be a very emotional film, and it looks like Lawrence Fishburne is a priest now. And looking in the back, they're traveling to a bar, maybe a city, and then a funeral right there. So just a range of emotions. And then I guess, talking about their service and their friendship over the years. I'm definitely looking forward to checking that one out. I'm a big fan of Richard Linklater. Boyhood obviously is super popular recently, but just so many great films in his filmography. This is one, first up, I thought this was the original Unbroken. I didn't realize there was even a sequel for this one. I know Angelina Jolie directed the first Unbroken movie, and it was about like an Olympian. So I was expecting that one, but now I see it is the sequel here, all new movie. And this is a Walmart exclusive right here, includes collectible booklet. And it's basically about an Olympian who was captured during World War II. He was a prisoner of war, and then he, comes home, and this is basically about that chapter, about him coming home, marrying his sweetheart, and he's just going through all the different emotions and despair and, I guess flashbacks of being a prisoner of war, understandably so. And his wife, I guess prays for him, and then turns to God at the 1949 Billy Graham Crusade. So, she's praying for him and for peace and forgiveness. So I guess it's all about that. It's going to be a faith-based film. I was not aware of that. But yeah. Again, I'm interested in the historical aspect more so. Him being an Olympian, prisoner of war, World War II, all that. So, I've seen some good faith-based films. A lot of times they're a bit heavy-handed for me, but let me know what your favorite faith-based film is. But yeah, I was expecting more of a biopic aspect, but maybe it'll have some interesting parts in there too. And again, this is a Walmart exclusive with the collectible booklet. Next up is The Iceman. This is one I've been wanting to see for so friggin' long. Soup to finally be able to check this out. It's crazy to me that this is at the Dollar Tree. I've heard rave reviews for this. I like the cast a lot. Michael Shannon is the hitman here. They call him Mr. Freezy, and he essentially leads a double life where he is a hitman, really crazy, violent, and then he also is a loving husband and devoted father. You also have Winona Ryder in here, James Franco, Ray Liotta, and Chris Evans. So I've been wanting to see this one for so long. I've heard great things. Really excited for it. I like the cast a lot. Great cast right there. Let me know what your favorite Michael Shannon movie is. I think he's a very talented actor. And this is one that I'm really happy to pick up, Killer Man. Never hear anybody talk about this one. I want to say it came out last year. I got a DVD for it, and I don't believe it has a Blu-ray release here in the U.S. So I was really excited to pick this one up. I remember I was going to order on Hamilton Books because they had the Canadian Blu-ray, which this is the Canadian Blu-ray, and I saw it had the slipcover. And I feel like it was like $7 on there, and I was going to get it. And glad I waited a little bit to get it right now from essentially the Dollar Tree. Larry and Melissa picked it up from the Dollar Tree for me, so I definitely appreciate it. At times, it's rough around the edges, and you have to suspend disbelief big time, but I thought it was a very exhilarating thrill ride all the way through. And it's funny I say that, and on the back it says exhilarating thriller. Great minds think alike, RogerEbert.com. But yeah, basically New York City money launderer Liam Hemsworth gets into like an accident. He loses his memory, and then people are trying to chase him down. There's missing cash, and yeah, I just remember, his friend, I don't know if it's like a relative or friend is involved, but it's just the climax in this was super violent, super tense. And I just remember being very stylistic and really surprised me because it was like, kind of like a direct-to-DVD, DVD-only release here. Didn't hear anybody talk about it. It's Chris Hemsworth's brother, and I think there's a couple of Hemsworths. But yeah, I really enjoyed the heck out of this one. So really happy to get the chance to revisit it, and I like the slipcover for it. So that is awesome because I don't believe it had a Blu-ray release here in the U.S. And again, the slipcover, if it has the slipcover, I want the slipcover, even if it's from like Canada. Again, Canada, I feel like gets a lot of slipcovers that we don't get here in the U.S. And I'm a sucker for that. Like if I see that it has a cool slipcover, like Guns Akimbo, it has a nicer slipcover in Canada, and they have the guns on the cover, where in the U.S. we don't, which is so ironic. We're the country known for the guns. How do you not have the guns on there? And that's such a pivotal part of Guns Akimbo, the movie. But I digress. Back to the rest of these movies. The rest are DVDs. It's Power of Grayskull, The Definitive History of He-Man and the Master of the Universe. Like I said, I don't think any of these ones have a Blu-ray release except for one. So yeah, this one I don't believe has a Blu-ray release. It's just the history of Masters of the Universe, and I grew up on you know, the cartoon, the figures, the movie with Dolph Lundgren, Courtney Cox. But yeah, so I love this one. I watched the recent Netflix series for it too, the part 1. Everybody was crapping on it. I didn't think it was terrible, but again, I feel like Mad Max and Fury Road, I feel like it shouldn't have been called Mad Max. It should have been Furiosa. The same thing with that He-Man series. He-Man was like, I don't know, like a tertiary character at that point. It was all about trying to, you know, I don't know, I don't want to give too much away for that, but I don't know, it just, I still thought it was a decent animated series, and I don't know, all the stuff that people were talking about, it just seems kind of unnecessary. Just go with it. You know what's going to happen in the second part. They have to bring a certain character back. It has to happen. Can't end that way, right? But I'm excited to check this, essentially, like, I guess, a documentary on, you know, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. So that is exciting. I feel like I've seen a couple about this already, like Netflix. You know, it was like The Toys That Made Us, and there's some other ones out there too. But next up is Forever Young. Here's a story I'll tell you about me being stupid back in when Blu-rays first came out. I remember getting rid of so many DVDs because it was like, oh, Blu-ray picture quality was so much better from what I saw from the Blu-rays initially. So I was like, I'm going to get rid of all these DVDs and pick up the Blu-rays. Dummy, big dummy. I just assumed that everything was going to get a Blu-ray release. This still doesn't have a Blu-ray release. This was one that I remember really enjoying as a kid. And I'm a big fan of Mel Gibson. I know he had a lot of issues that came up in the media and stuff like that. Personal life aside, I'm a fan of his acting and directing. Apocalypto is one of my all-time favorites. Hacksaw Ridge recently, and I think a couple underrated films that he acted in recently were Bloodfather and Get the Gringo. I love both of those. Dragged Across Concrete I wouldn't call underrated, but I think it deserves more love. I really enjoyed the heck out of that one too. But I think he's a very talented actor and director, and I'm not a big romance guy, and I think this is one of the few ones when I was younger I remember enjoying, with had romance aspects, but it also had balanced out with you know, the dramatic elements. And to me, from what I can remember, this had, you know, that feel of a classic Hollywood element here, with, you know, a modern take to it. And George Wendt is in here too, good supporting cast. And, you know, again, early Elijah Wood in here. And this is directed by Steve Miner. And it's set in 1939. Mel Gibson is a fighter pilot flying B-25s, but he wants to propose to his girl, and he keeps pushing it off. And then I think she passes away, and then he decides to take this mission, top secret cryogenic experiment. He wakes up in 1992, and he doesn't, you know, he's disoriented, and he makes a friend with a young Elijah Wood right there. And his mother, Jamie Lee Curtis. There's no father in the picture, and of course there's a romance aspect, big time there. But I remember really enjoying this one as a kid, and again, this is one of those ones where I got rid of the DVD because I wanted to pick the Blu-ray, and there's no Blu-ray. I feel like that's the case for a lot of DVDs. There's a lot of movies that still deserve a Blu-ray release. Let me know movies that you think deserve a Blu-ray release. There's a bunch out there. I feel like The Abyss for sure, and, you know, True Lies are like the top ones for a lot of people, but there's so many more. And I feel like we're getting so many releases, but there's so many more that deserve them. Yeah, definitely excited to pick this one up again and rewatch it. It's been a long time. Next up is the only one that I believe has a Blu-ray release. This one has Blu-rays, but as far as the DVDs they've shown, I don't believe Forever Young has a Blu-ray release. But Warner Archive, that seems like something that deserves a Blu-ray release, or just, you know, Warner in general. I think they still have the rights for it. But The Writer, and this is based on a true story. This is one that I've heard good things about. I wanted to check it out. The TV show Yellowstone, I really like. It's my favorite show that's currently on. But I really like Westerns as well, and this is kind of about the cowboy life. He was doing like the rodeo circuit, and then I guess that is over, and he's just trying to kind of find himself, and it's basically, you know, trying to find his purpose, and you know, regain control of his life, it says, and his new identity, and what it means to be a man in the heartland of America. I've heard great things. I hate these stupid Rotten Tomatoes things, like directly printed on. It's not a sticker. Rotten Tomatoes is a trash rating site. Trash. There's no middle ground. It's like a 90 or like a 30. It blows my mind that this became so popular, but I guess it shouldn't, given the world. But IMDb is the go-to site if you want accurate ratings. that'll, you know, at least for me, like, you know, I'm not expecting a movie to be a 90-something%, or a 30. It could be in the middle. It could be a 75. It could be you know, a 65, something like that. I just feel like IMDb is much more true to how I view movies and ratings. And I know there's different ways that they rate with the critics and stuff like that, but I don't know. I hate seeing these stupid stickers. I just feel like I don't know. It's not for me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too old, but whenever I see that sticker, I just cringe. Just because every time I've ever looked at the site, it's just absurd. It's absurdity to the max. But yeah, it's super mainstream. I hate that they're printed on the cases like that now. But I miss the IMDb forums. They took that down. That was good stuff back in the day. Next up is Canadian Bacon, a John Candy movie, which I've never seen. It's directed by Michael Moore, who did Roger and Me. Basically, it's like a political satire movie, and I like the cast here too. Rip Torn, Kevin Pollak, Alan Alda, who plays the U.S. president, Rhea Perlman, and John Candy. And basically, they want to, you know, cook up a new Cold War, and it's with Canada. And so, you know, media propaganda, it says Americans waste no time in patriotically burning their ice skates and swearing off maple syrup. That cracks me up. I don't know why, like, reading this kind of makes me think of like Super Troopers a little bit. But yeah, it says the bumbling U.S. sheriff, played by John Candy, and his hair-triggered deputy, Rhea Perlman, decide to take matters in their own hands and lead a preemptive strike. And so they're embroiled in this international incident. And it says it's too close for comfort, eh? So yeah, kind of Super Troopers-esque meets Strange Brew, maybe a bit. But I'm looking forward to checking this one out. This is one of the only John Candy movies that I haven't seen. Big fan of John Candy. Let me know who your favorite comedic actor of all time is. It's a shame. I feel like him and Chris Farley were taken too soon. They were comedic Belushi as well. But yeah, they were all iconic and amazing, and excited to check that one out. But there you go. Those are the 9 pickups, 5 Blu-rays, 4 DVDs. And let me know if you've seen them, what you think of them. Let me know which one of these is your favorite. Let me know what your best pickup from the Dollar Tree has been. Leave me those comments down below, and I hope everybody's doing well. Take care.